What is up? Welcome to the unofficial Tedeschi Trucks podcast. This is episode number 95. I am Adam Choit. What's cooking out there? This is going to be a fun one. I won't do too much of a spiel here because I want to introduce our upcoming guest. But at Tedeschi Trucks podcast on Instagram, I'm at Adam Choit on Instagram. If you want to follow me, at Adam Choit on Twitter, please be sure to subscribe to the show. Give the show positive reviews on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. I appreciate that. That is definitely helpful, certainly. And please subscribe to the show on YouTube. Give this video a like, share. All of that stuff is definitely appreciated, too. The band has been in Europe, Tedeschi Trucks Band. They've hit a bunch of cities. I pulled up the set list. I don't have the entire tour list in front of me. They should leave the shows up on the website so we can see where they've been. But today's guest is a past guest of this show. She is from Ukraine originally. There's some things going on in the world over there, none of which is my fault, just to let you guys know. And if people would listen to me, there would not be all this conflict and strife and war and terribleness going on in the world. But right now she's traveling through I think Western Europe. I don't even know where she is right now, but she's a photographer. You've probably seen her photos on online, posted on Facebook and the different groups if you're a hardcore TTB person and engaged in those platforms, on those forums. But let's just get into it. I'm sure I'll give more plugs and stuff later. But here we go. Let's bring back Alina Harmash. How we doing?
Hi, Adam, and hi, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, I see you. For sure. I'm just my first thing before we even say hello. I'm just like, can I see her? Can I hear her? Can she hear me? Is all the technical things working before I can actually like say hello and get into the conversation? Yeah. But you're welcome for all that. I'm glad to have you is what I'm trying to say. And thank you for your time last time and this time. I'm looking forward to this. First off, I mean, do you want to tell me how you are or where you are first? I'll kind of let you decide the order of that.
Yeah. So I'm in Stockholm now. It has become my new home since March. Yeah. So basically, I just arrived from the plane, and I have a couple of days to rest until I go to Paris for the last 2 shows of Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Okay, so you're traveling right now. You didn't move to anywhere else in Europe.
No. I mean, no. Stockholm is like my new home now. Yeah.
Oh, so that's where after Paris you're going back to Stockholm.
Yeah.
Was that the last time when we spoke? You were like you kind of thought about wanting to move to one of the Scandinavian countries. Was it Switzerland or I think it was Sweden? You kind of like always wanted to. You always wanted to end up there, so maybe that makes some sense. But yeah, what a crazy! Before we get into the music and TTB in Europe, just like what a crazy time, and you're a refugee in a lot of ways. Is that not true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Is your family doing okay despite all the craziness and friends and is everybody safe and somehow? I'm hoping.
They're in Ukraine. So my parents and my sister, my little sister, are in Ukraine, and fortunately they managed to escape from the occupied area in the south. So right now they live in Kiev at my apartment that I used to rent. So I mean they are okay. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad. Oh man, what a time. But the music, I'm sure. I mean, it doesn't change things, but it makes the world, I don't know, a better place, a more tolerable one, and reminds us that there's good things in the world and love and beauty and all these things. And what band accentuates those ideas more than Tedeschi Trucks Band? I don't know. I think I should just like give you the floor, and you could kind of like take us back to for the first show of your current run, because you've photographed how many shows so far? 8, 7, 8?
8. Yeah.
And you got how many more coming?
2.
You have two, so that's 10 total. But
Yeah, that's
you earned it. You deserve. I mean, if there's anyone, and you're working at these shows on top of it, doing taking shots, which for you obviously is your dream more, and it's not just work. But when was because I pulled up setlist.fm here. When was your first one? That was in Denmark, October 17th. Is
yeah,
that correct? You were at
yeah,
that one. And that's probably the first show
yeah,
of the run.
yeah.
Um,
And so we arrived at the venue with my friend from Italy, Mauro. Hi, Mauro, if you're watching. We met actually in London at that show in 2020, just before the pandemic hit. Yeah, and he's such a big fan. I mean, we just couldn't stop talking to each other about our love for Tedeschi Trucks. And yeah, we actually met Susan and Derek before the show. It was amazing. I mean,
You
so
talking
my
about you talking about this year, this time, or back the
this
previous
time,
this
this
time?
time, yeah. But we waited patiently for a couple of hours until they came out of the back door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You're like me, basically. I mean, that's we're the stage door crew. Did you
yeah.
get a chance to talk to Bobby T's Pop Out or anyone else connected to the band that were you
Not
finding
to
yourself chatting with?
not to Bobby T's, unfortunately, but I talked to pretty much everyone in the band, and especially Mark and Elizabeth. Yeah, we talked for some minutes, and it was just unbelievable. They're genius people.
Yeah,
And
they're so nice.
yes, and it was especially interesting to hear from Elizabeth because she rarely talks, and I mean, at all. So it was nice to get her perspective as well.
Yeah, I feel like once you get her in a conversation, I've had a few conversations with
Yeah.
her, and they've been pleasant. Like once you get her in, what do you think about that? Look at that. How cool is that? Where was that at?
That
October 7th
was, yeah, the back door of the venue. Yeah, and I
in
asked hmm? in
in
Copenhagen.
Denmark, in
Yeah,
Copenhagen.
and I asked Susan to take the selfie because she's the best at taking selfies, and she
Yeah,
agreed. So that was fun.
it's almost like if you're a public figure or famous, let's of course let's just say it. Like you probably want to get good at selfie because your worst nightmare is probably someone who wants a picture who's fumbling around with the camera. Like these people, Susan's time is probably pretty valuable, I would say.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
and Derek's and their time, like time is everybody's most valuable resource
yeah,
in a lot of regards.
yeah, for sure. And I'm very grateful that they stopped by for a minute and talked to us. It was very nice.
I feel like this might end up having. I was joking that this is going to be a two-part podcast or something like that, but like we could probably just talk about this one show, like, and that could be an episode a night. Because I'm thinking about like, because this is Europe, this is so literally, and no pun intended, foreign to me. Like, I want to know like what was the venue like, and I mean, I guess I could have looked up some pictures and all that, and I do have the internet here, but
Mm,
tell me about the venue and just continue on. Yeah, I'll let you chronologically tell your story. I don't want. I'm talking too much already.
no, so this actually is the best venue for them so far in Europe in terms of from my photographic perspective, and yeah, from the spectators' view as well, because the first row is very close to the stage, like I don't know in inches or feet. I'm sorry, but it's like 2 meters to Susan and Derek, so it's very close. Yeah, and there was this very small photo pit, but and the stage is actually not that high. So why am I talking about the stage? Okay, that was a great venue, absolutely. Yeah, and the most important thing for me at the shows is to actually look at their faces and their facial expressions. I think many fans would agree with me.
Yeah, no, all the pictures are so amazing, and I'm gonna pull up more of
Yeah,
them. Yeah, yeah, like just I guess this because what is it? You're seeing the range of emotions on their faces because they're playing such their music is so emotional in a lot of ways, and it's such a a
Mhm.
spiritual. I don't know. It's such a thing that it's such a special, unique thing. Playing music and listening to music and hearing music and playing it live and playing with other people. Like you see their faces are connected to their instruments. Is that what it is? What is it about the
Yeah.
faces especially to you?
Oh, a lot of things. So connection to the instruments, connection to each other, and yeah, the way everyone in the band looks at each other when they Mark, Alicia, and Mike are doing solos. I mean, Susan just looks at them and just she can't help but smile, and laugh and everything in between. It's so precious to observe.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. And those are all the things that that I talk about and observe too.
Yeah,
Like when I'm watching the live streams of shows
yeah,
or the fireside series or something like that, when
yeah,
that really gives you the intimate look at
yeah.
them looking
So
at each other in an intimate way, and and
yeah.
a very connected manner
Mm,
for sure. Um, so I'm looking at the set list here. I
yeah,
could share that too.
yeah.
Signs, high times, laugh about it. I mean, do you? It seems like you're like me in the sense that you like unconditionally love like the band and all their music. And if you ask me what's your favorite Tedeschi Trucks Band song, it's like I don't even know what to like.
No.
What is the point of the or your favorite album? It's really kind of at that point where I'm so blinded in my unconditional affection for the band and everything they do.
Mm,
It's like hard to just
yeah, but I
every
could.
every song
Mhm.
is a showstopper.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell the best songs, but I would be able to tell special songs for me. Yeah. If you want to hear them.
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull
Yeah.
up the set list.
Mhm.
Let's see if I could do that. Oh, look at
I cannot. Shit, I cannot see it. Let me wait a couple of
that.
minutes until.
Oh, it's well the
Oh
signal
yeah.
is traveling over it's
Yeah, I
going
can see. I can see it now.
overseas.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
yeah. Now this is stellar. I would put this on Instagram and with fire emojis. Certainly, I
Yeah.
probably did. Um,
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, it was actually great that they started with Science High Times and laugh about it, because usually for the most of other shows they started with the tunes from I'm the Moon and from the lyrical ones. And it is very crucial for me because I get to photograph the three first songs and I need to get the most. Yeah. So yeah, I mean those are amazing songs from I'm the Moon. But in terms of photography, it's very how do I say it? Not that intense. Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad to hear anything that they do.
It's
So
interesting to I was gonna say it's interesting to hear that from a photographer's perspective, hearing how the songs affect the photographs. Because right, like the first two songs of the night, you're probably not going to get Susan like lifting up her leg
yeah,
and getting
yeah,
super animated in those signature moments like she does in I Pity the Fool, which usually comes late in the set or even
yes, oh yeah,
as part of an encore. I'm just a you know I'm lucky in a I mean, I'm always taking some kind of mental notes and I always know I'm going to talk about stuff. And sometimes I do
mhm,
write things down and make notes. But for the most part, I really do. I'm grateful that I get to just kind of be a fan and just listen. And I'm not like thinking about photography, but that's what you love and you were meant to do. And it's so cool that you do that
yeah.
and provide an amazing service in a sense with these beautiful photos for everyone to
Thank
enjoy.
you, thank you so much. And yeah, I really love a challenge, and shooting Tedeschi trucks is a challenge. I mean, in many ways, starting from the fact that there are 12 in the band and you have three songs and you need to get the pictures of everyone, and the moody blue and magenta light on the lyrical numbers is not really helping to get the best pictures. But yeah, I love a challenge.
That's funny. That's interesting if for me to hear that, because
Hmm.
yeah, you
Yeah.
you still have a job to do, and there's
Mhm.
definitely probably challenges like you say, um, along the way and throughout the evening and the songs that you have permission
Yeah.
to do. I mean, I mean, where would you want to? What else can we talk about? Some of these
Yeah.
songs where you were there for the whole show, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I want to mention Just Won't Burn because that is actually one of my favorite songs that Susan did, and I was looking forward to hear it live, and I did. it
Yeah,
was it was unbelievable.
like that. When I saw Tedeschi Trucks Band play at the Beacon in 2021, it was my first time seeing them live in a few years, and I think they started that show with "Darling, Be Home Soon," and that was pretty. It was, I think
Yeah.
it was the third show. I don't remember what number show was that Beacon run, but like that was like pretty intense for me to like, it's like I hadn't seen or just it was emotional having not seen them in for so long. So for you and thinking about all the things that you've gone through, in your life and just
Mm.
how much you love this band, just when they first played their first note, that must have been pretty intense for you, I bet. Like,
And oh, also, I Can Make You Love Me. Oh my God. I mean, this is basically the song of my about my life. So, and yeah, I'm really glad she did that. I mean, Bonnie's version is beautiful, and I mean, she has it, but Susan's version, yeah, means a lot to me.
like if someone is not moved by that, like
No,
you I don't think you're not human, I'm sorry. Or I mean, you have to be at least a little bit or some degree be captivated. Like if you're not touched by, I mean, in some way by listening to that, or especially if you see it live. If you see that live and you're not moved, then I don't even know what to do for you. But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
mm,
such, I don't know.
yeah,
They could
and
do it all. They do the singer-songwriter stuff. They do I mean, look at just Pasek was played looking at the set list was played before
yes,
that. Like, that's its own unique thing
wow,
as well. What did you think of that, seeing that live?
wow. I mean, we were sent to the atmosphere, honestly, and my Italian friend Mauro, I think he cried during Pasek One, and I did too. So, what
Yeah.
else can you say about it?
Yeah, what I mean, that's the thing, like, how many bands can make someone that emotional, not just you, but, me, all of us, the
Yeah,
fans, like, that
yeah,
emotional from, like, an instrumental in a lot of ways, like, I Can't Make You Love Me, that's a very easy song, so to
mhm,
speak,
yeah,
to get the feels for, but, like, Passaquan, but I
yeah,
understand it just to it's it's the whole band, it's not just Derek, it's the whole experience that it's the sum of the parts that makes you feel this way. It's
yeah,
such it's a special thing that Derek
yeah.
composed, like this thing, and I hope they continue, of course, to make new music. I mean, I'm not gonna like expect an album like tomorrow. We just
No,
got four. I get it. I get it. I know I've been joking around about wanting a new one every month, but
yeah,
whatever new Tedeschi Trucks studio albums come out, I hope that putting a extended instrumental
mm,
composition. Instrumental is not the right word. It's a composition
yeah.
is what
Mm.
it is.
And here I gotta give credit to the drummers because
Oh man.
hey, wow, what they did is what they do is just unbelievable. And I actually got to talk to Isaac after one show, and I asked him like, "How do you do that?" So, is it pure improvisation? Because I was not sure. Yeah, it was. It's always pure improvisation, and like Falcon is like challenging him, and he loves it, and it's so nice to hear about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled in a lot of ways. I'm spoiled by having two drummers. I'm spoiled by getting to see and listen to Passaquan multiple times live, and it's just super impressive
yeah,
with those guys do up there. Like, It's I love the two drummers, the call and response from the drums, or who are they're communicating with each other, and they're communicating through their instruments, and it's rhythmic. I mean,
Mhm.
I like that's why I love what having the two drummers, and them going back and forth, especially on the duets. It's like there's such a rhythmic aspect to it, and that's what I enjoy. Whereas like a drum solo is kind of like it's not there's not as much of a beat or a rhythm to it, and these guys kind of just they're telling a story,
Yeah,
even when it's not, maybe a driving beat that they're going back and forth to. They're still talking and communicating back and forth, and it makes you smile, like
yeah,
thinking about when they slow down, and he'll hit it twice, he'll hit it once, like
yeah,
they're talking to each other.
yeah, yeah. And I think my face and everyone else's faces in the first row were actually hurting from smiling after the
Yeah,
show.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that. Wow, that's funny. It's good
yeah,
though. It's actually good, I think, it's actually healthy to smile for
mm,
your physiology. I'm talking a little bit out of my ass right now, but there is something to that. Trust me. I've
yeah,
I've gone down some of these different rabbit holes,
yeah,
for sure. I mean, I don't even know where to go. We could talk about this show more. We could talk about maybe if there's any special, continue to talk about special moments after the
yeah,
show. I mean, we've already packed so much great stuff into this. I mean, just for me to have this conversation, I think is great. It's like, it doesn't even matter if it's for a podcast or for an audience. I was already having all these crazy conversations with fans about all these
yeah,
details related to the
yeah.
band, even before I started this whole thing. I'm going to share some more of the pictures also, but should we go into the next show, or
Yeah, for sure.
what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll mention I Pity the Fool from the second show because that was a special one. Well, I mean, I thought that Susan might say something about Ukraine, but of course I couldn't expect that. And she actually did that and looked at me, and wow, I mean, that was.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm still alive after that, but yeah, that was very, very nice of her. Very nice of her. Mm,
to just say something supportive, essentially.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, during the monologue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then I had a
Wow.
yeah.
I just said wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then a couple of crazy days traveling to another Danish city and then straight to Oslo. And I gotta talk more about Oslo because there I met Kathleen, Helen, and Anne that came from the US for the show, and it was so amazing meeting them. I mean,
I feel the same. I feel the same way, and just like hearing you talk about, not that I'm super close with them, but I'm friendly with them, and I saw, of course, got to hang out with them a little bit in New York and
mm,
chat and whatnot, and but like now I'm talking to them there, and then it's like this whole like swamp family is like becoming like a
yeah,
global
yeah,
thing, and just for me to like be some small part in that is just means the
yeah,
world to me. Like this is for the fans, really. I've been thinking more about that. Just this podcast. There's people who've reached out to me, fans who just want to talk about the band and are
yeah,
going to this show. So I want to continue to continue to talk to more fans and get more recaps. Like just the people
mm,
who love the band. Like not it doesn't
yeah.
even have to love the band as much as me and you. You can be,
Yeah,
but
but
just
actually, yeah, to be able to see these people's faces after you see them online on the fan page pretty much every single day, and to see them in flesh, it was very special and very cool. Yeah, when we were standing in the first row, I mean, in Oslo, and then I don't know, someone from the band or from the crew saw them, and like, you really you came all the way from America to see us here, and yeah, of course they did.
I would have let everyone know. I like to let people know that I'm coming. I'd be like, I don't want to scare the band. I don't want to distract them. Be like, just so you know, I'll be at the Europe
No, no,
right?
the
Just
band
giving you the
were very happy to see them and all the fans. Yeah.
yeah. Super fan Kathleen has been. She said she was at all of the Beacon shows. She has not missed one
Wow,
Beacon shows.
that is
I've been trying to
dedication.
Yeah, I've been trying to get her on here, but I get that. It's something this is not for everyone, but I
Um,
appreciate the fact
yeah,
that she's such a so enamored and I guess obsessed like we all are with
yeah,
it's the music, you know. It's like it's the music that keeps me going. Even if I get a chance to, like, let's say I do hope to talk to Derek and Susan on the show at some point, but even after that, like that's not the be all and end all. I continue just want to talk about the music. Like that's what
yeah.
this is about, and just dive deeper into that and my appreciation for it
Mm.
by talking to other fans who feel similarly about it. But you wanted to tell me more about Norway and maybe some of the other people, or I'll let you continue on your
Yeah, I'm cannot remember the set list for Oslo. Can you pull that up, please?
here my dear, we got Fall In. Try to make this helpful for the listeners also. Let
Yeah,
me grab that. Let's see
yeah,
here. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. We got it right here.
yeah. 2 more seconds until it appears on my
Yeah.
screen.
It's got to go over the ocean or under the ocean, through the ocean in a tunnel, through
Yeah,
the tubes, literal tubes.
yeah. Oh my God, looking for answers. Wow.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
all of it. Hear My Dears for to me is like it's almost it's like comforting. The song is like it's
yeah.
like there's like a soothing, comforting aspect to it. Like you could be listening, like anything could be like some bad, not bad, but like some life is happening and this is happening, or you hear some other like more intense song before it, whether it's a TTB or another band on your set list or
Mm,
something. Then you hear My Dear. It's like it's like there's a
yeah,
soothing calmness and a familiarity with it.
yeah. Oh, I remember a special moment that was very cute. So they did Looking for Answers after Somehow, and these two songs actually start from the same chord progression. And Susan couldn't start singing Looking for Answers because she kept starting with Somehow, and it was very cute. Um, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. I don't know why they put those songs together on the set list, but I think they didn't realize that. Or yeah.
Yeah, well, it just like I guess it just happened. Maybe that was the thought if if it's in a similar key or progression or
Mm,
whatever, and they're like, oh, this will flow into the next. But you get that, but she
mm,
got stuck in the like that. Well, it's a credit to how good Somehow is because
yeah.
like they get like that's the thing, like they get hooked into their own music and not in any obviously egotistical but way. You get like hooked in a very like you get
Mm,
how like they become one with the music where you can't like it's like involuntary in a sense, like because
mm,
it's so catchy. Like like these songs somehow I love all these songs.
yeah.
My sister who sings a little bit, she's been practicing somehow. She came out to the final Beacon show that I
Mm,
went to, and she's just like, I like this song. I'm gonna like start singing this song. So she's sending me clips of her singing Somehow. I got everybody getting into the new stuff. It's been cool.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, So Sweet Song, they did quite a lot of it during the 8 concerts. And yeah, it's such a beautiful song. And I think Gabe and Mike wrote it, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean it's such an amazing uh, tribute to Coffee. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
could practically feel his spirit in the room when they sing it.
Wow. Yeah. I believe it, and I've experienced that. I feel like myself, and the fact that it's such a great dedication to Kofi, and I think they've been pushing it, or it's been wanted to be pushed as like they're a
Mm,
single type song, like so we know that they have all the motivation in the world to push that and play it more. And
yeah,
I like hearing it at a part of the encore, and I've heard they've played it a
yeah,
few times. A couple of the shows I went to as the encore. It's like a surprise in a sense because
Yeah.
In the encore, you're expecting to hear, the big 7 to 10 minute number where we're gonna go into Space Captain or something like that, where
Yeah.
you're gonna get the big finale. But when you hear Soul Sweet Song, it's like, oh, that's cool. And then you know that you're probably gonna get another song after that because
Mm,
that's one's only 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever it
yeah. Mm,
clocks in at. But yeah, what a great
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we can move to Stockholm. And it was a seated. I think I can't remember half seated or completely seated show, and yeah, I don't like those.
Everybody was sitting in October 22nd here.
Let me remember. Actually, I think yeah, it was seated. I mean,
That's the San Diego of
oh yeah,
European. No, was it an older crowd or something like that? Or because these are
uh,
all theaters, I assume that they're playing at, so it must be somewhat of similar vibe, I guess, in that
no.
regard.
So open. I mean, of course, the best shows are general admission shows. Personally, for me,
Sure.
uh, yeah. But the Copenhagen and Oslo, it was general admission, and then Stockholm, it was seated. Mm, so yeah, it's Stockholm setlist, right?
Yeah. Here, my dear fallen, and I am the moon. Circles around the sun, past one, just
Yeah,
won't burn. Soul Sweet Song, Made Up Mine was the first set. Set two was the Gary Gravity, Where Are My Friends, Part of Me, Bell
yeah,
Bottom Blues, Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad, Do I Look Worried? Yes, We Will, and Bound for Glory. I did that for the listeners.
yeah. But it's also good to see it. I mean, it's the first time they did Gary. Wow, I haven't. Yeah, I wasn't even expecting to hear it live for
I
some
think I
reason.
got did we get to I might have got one. I think I heard the Gary once in New York, but I think they may have played it twice. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But that song's really I mean, I loved it the first time
Yeah,
I saw it on
yeah,
the video with all the
yeah.
photographs of the band. And maybe that's like I almost like feel like I can't get that association with it out of my brain, not that I want to, because I hear that song, it almost seems like there's a nostalgic, meditative kind of quality to it in a way that's kinda different from some other songs. It's kinda I don't
Mm,
know, there's something unique about it that just continues to grow on
yeah,
me and just, like,
yeah,
as I sit more with the song, so to speak.
yeah. It's an amazing one, and Bound for Glory. Oh my God. Yeah. What Alicia did and what she does is just uh, marvelous. I mean, unbelievable. And I mean, she gets places when she sings. I'm such a
Yeah.
fan.
Alicia, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just they continually find new ways to keep these songs fresh and they pop when you hear them live while you're there or even just listening back on
Hmm.
to any of the fan audio or whatever audio we can get,
Yeah.
just like little things with Isaac is bringing his own flair to the
Yeah.
drums, and Alicia like is doing kind of what you were asked Isaac about before, just the idea of just like this, it always being some amount of improv, and
Mm.
and it's just amazing that they continue as a band, Isaac, Alicia included, like, they just get better and better somehow, like, I don't know how, like, Derek is getting these new sounds out of his guitar, it sounds like to me, like, just what he does on Gravity, it's, like, almost like, "Are you adding notes to that? Is the guitar are there
Mhm.
more frets or something like that?" Like, what they're just stretching themselves and pushing themselves
Yeah.
more on all their instruments, be it a Gibson SG or their voices.
Yeah. Oh wait, we actually gotta talk about the lipstick photo. It was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, let's pull that up. I got it
Yeah.
ready, I think. Let's
Yeah.
see. No, we're gonna do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Alina got a photo of Susan, I guess, sitting on the side of the stage and putting some lipstick on. We're gonna pull that up here. Alright. Alright, give me 1 second. We got a professional operation here. There it is, we got it. Here we go. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy I caught that moment. Yeah. It was during Bound for Glory, I think. Um.
Oh, it's in the
I'm not,
middle. Yeah, because it's in the middle of the song. Because there's
yeah,
long portions of songs where she gets
yeah,
does get a break a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. And I mean, I zoomed in as far as I could because I was shooting this from the back of the balcony. And yeah, so no, that is a special one for me.
It is, and I'm glad that like we're chatting and I could like even get a closer look at like all the details
Mhm.
of the photo that like just seeing all the get you. I mean, besides her, you get seeing all the details on the amps here. And look what we
Mhm.
got here. We got an extra slide. It's making me nervous.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there is a little lip around the table. You see,
Uh-huh.
around this little stand. So there's an edge for the so the cups don't slide off, and the bottle there. What's in that
Mhm.
cup there? Probably water. But the pink is such a cool lighting and matches even
Yeah.
my background here is a little bit. I got the pink lights. It's daytime right now, so they're not quite as
Yeah.
as
To be
poppy.
honest,
But
yeah, the light is edited. It was not like
oh
that because
whoa,
it was very
you fibber.
it
Now
was very bad light.
what did you say? What was the original lighting?
I don't know, but it was like some non-flattering yellow where the green one is. So I actually did edit some lights, but I
Did you
mean,
turn it pink? Where you did so you
no,
turned.
the yellow are turned green, and the pink. I think it was pink, but I just enhanced it.
I
So
got you.
yeah, you
That's
gotta do the
good.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are skilled. I'm gonna give you work. Maybe we'll talk offline. I'll give you some gigs if I can afford you
Okay.
for some graphics things. No, it looks super duper sharp. Yeah, I could
Mm,
see the yellow and blue make green. See, I went to public school over here.
mm-hmm.
Um, not
Yeah.
beautiful shot. And this one was as in the in the Sweden, yeah, in
No,
Stockholm.
it was in Oslo.
Oh,
Oslo.
this was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Norway. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sweet,
Yeah.
good
That
stuff.
one was from Berlin. Yeah, which was the next one after
Yeah,
after Stockholm.
yeah. I should have labeled all these more. Oh man, we'll
No,
get there.
no, it's
One
okay.
of these days, I will have it all together here. I will have every show, all the dates, everything organized. There won't be dead air in between sharing screens.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's okay. I remember where those photos were shot. Yeah, that was in Berlin, and I can actually tell you the song if you pull up the set list. I think
Uh,
it was "I'm the Moon." I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I
Hmm.
believe it.
Yeah,
Derek looks so intense and she looks so at ease, but it's just a moment
yeah,
that
yeah,
just you
yeah,
happen to capture.
yeah. And it's
There.
quite hard to capture the moment when he looks up at Susan. Uh, yeah, that was Fallen, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
I love that one. Their guitars, look how shiny the guitar strings are
Yeah.
On Mike's guitars. You know, singing with that passion. Mark behind with the maracas. We're talking about
Yes.
photographs, so people who are listening, it may not be ideal, but they
Mm.
can check it out after the fact. After the
Yeah.
fact, you know,
Yeah, and
on the
actually, let me
YouTube.
tell you, also from the photographic perspective, it's vital to know the lyrics, and of course, I know the lyrics of every song, so I know when to point my camera at at, at what band member. Yeah,
Wow.
it's very it it makes a great difference when you know actually your timing, and when you have three songs, you gotta uh, have a good relationship with timing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that much about like what really goes into that. And I'm wondering if all I don't think all photographers do what you're describing for every single show and every gig that they do. How could they possibly know the lyrics of all the bands that
No, no,
they're
no, no.
yeah.
But
But for
yeah.
you in this band, the fact that you can and do and know the lyrics, like it makes the photographs that much more. Yeah, like you're
Mhm.
saying, you know when to look for certain cues, whether it's an eyes closed
Yeah.
intensity or some big note
Yeah.
or
And
crescendo during a song.
Yeah, it's very interesting to predict the facial expression that they're gonna have like in a couple of seconds. It's very interesting. That's why I love photography.
Yeah, I feel like guitar faces and stuff like that. People make fun of it too much, and like I guess they make it like this negative cliche. But there's a reason why people close their eyes when they sing and play
Yeah,
instruments and contort their bodies, because you do feel like you're at one with the instruments.
yeah,
John Mayer, do your thing. Do whatever you got to do, John Mayer. This is cool
yeah,
here. We got a picture of Mark
yeah,
holding the shakers
yeah.
there, doing
And
his thing.
I love how the color of the shakers is the same with the color of his beanie.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And just the lighting is the spotlight is just
Yeah,
it's like perfect. Like if it was in like a movie, this is how you would, I think, want it to be
yeah,
seen or lit.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That was a good light there. Yeah,
it's a cool shot because you don't really often see this shot of Mark, because there's always so much uh chaos, and I mean that in a good way, like organized chaos
yeah,
going around, lights
yeah,
flashing and graphics and people
yeah,
next to him, in front of him,
yeah.
and instruments poking every which way, and wires
Mm,
and cables or fans, and like, but just to see him like in his element in the foreground with no distractions, like, I don't know, it's cool.
yeah,
And he's such a big part of this band
yeah,
too, and has been an OG from the original
yeah.
member, of course. Like,
Actually, when I was talking to him after the show in, I don't remember when, in Denmark, I said to him, "Okay, I'm not saying anything but earth, wind, and fire." I just I just said it to him, and he got what I meant. So yeah, I mean, earth, wind, and fire would be to cover. I mean,
oh, I see. Yeah.
they have got everything that. Yeah, they have got the vocals, the back singers, the horns. I mean, this guitar solos, everything.
Right, that's true. Have they done
Yeah,
any Earth, Wind, and Fire songs?
I
I
don't
feel
think so.
like,
Mm,
yeah, that's kind of
no.
surprising, actually.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm sure they get tons and tons of
yeah.
requests from
Yeah.
fans. A lot of good ones too, and
Yeah.
but I don't think they need us to
No.
suggest songs.
No.
They know it. But if, I guess,
Yeah.
if enough people are saying something, or they hear something enough, and you
Mm,
never know.
yeah.
They take suggestions for songs have to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't always have to come from Derek Susan or the other 10 members.
Mm,
They come from, people
yeah.
close to the band. I mean, I would say that Kathleen, maybe she can pick a song. I'd say,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean? She, like, I mean, you go to Europe and been to all the big shows, and God knows how many others. Like,
Yeah.
that's some
Yeah.
dedication. She gets a song. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't even. She'd be like, "Yeah, whatever. I don't care." She just, because we all love the band so unconditionally
Mm-hmm.
anyway. It's like impossible
Yeah.
to be disappointed by them. Where do we go from here?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta mention Berlin and Hamburg. I mean, especially Berlin. I mean, there were some really great people in the audience, but in the seated area and otherwise, what is wrong with those people? I'm sorry, but I just gotta mention that.
What about in the balcony? Were there balconies at these
It
places?
was, yeah, there was not a balcony, but like an amphitheater in the back of the venue. So actually, like there was general admission in the front and seats in the back. So the people in the back, they were just sitting still. They were not even moving. I mean, did they come for a Schubert concert? I really I cannot. And I'm just a bit curious about the people in Berlin because they were very disrespectful to me and yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
gonna talk about it. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear it wasn't the best experience for you. I mean, the set list
Mm.
looks great, of course,
Yeah.
but the but yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it was a combination of the fans and the venue that and the people working at the venue that made it not the best
Yeah.
experience, essentially.
Especially people working at the venue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the only one of this run you'd say you had any sort of you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
negative comments about.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So yeah, Hamburg was a bit better in terms of the vibe from the audience. Um, Let me see. That's the Berlin set list. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
pull up. Here you go. October 26th, Hamburg. Do I look worried anyhow? Here, my dear fallen. I am the moon. Bell bottom blues. Why does love
Mm-hmm.
gotta be so sad? Made up mine was set one, set two to Gary. Part of me where my friends stand back. Midnight in Harlem,
Yes.
outside woman blues. Passaquan, that did it.
Yeah, that
Space
did it.
Captain. That's a powerhouse set list
Yeah.
right there. That's serious business when you go outside woman blue. Midnight in stand back. Midnight nothing against the songs that before, but stand back. Midnight in Harlem. Outside woman blues.
Yeah.
Passaquan, and that did it. Something about those like those are just like all very. That's powerful stuff right there. That like
Yeah.
you get. It's a concert right there.
Yeah.
It's just
I
that right
mean,
there is like a that's a decent size. It's like an hour of music right there. Just those five songs, almost. I would guess.
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
that's and that's actually interesting that they started putting Passaquan in the second set because they usually played it in the first set. And yeah, when the audience is already like you know in the high energy state and they play Passaquan, I mean people go wild. People go wild.
Yeah.
And to finish, mm,
No, I was gonna say like people do it even before they really get into the song. Just like they get a standing ovation round of applause
yes,
just when people
yeah,
start to recognize that it's
yeah,
Passaquan.
yeah,
Like I don't.
yeah,
It's we're. I mean, I don't know. Is it the Allman Brothers background where we like have such a deep connection
mhm,
to these sort of compositions that are just like so we're
mm,
just here for the journey. We're just like, all right, take us on the journey. We're here for, you know what I mean? We're just like
yeah,
it's like the beginning of not of a roller coaster, but some sort of a ride, a journey. It's like
mhm,
an excursion. It's like get into the we're all like getting into the tour. It's like and we're gonna go
yeah,
on this journey led by
mm,
Derek, essentially.
yeah, 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 totally. And after that, there was the last show that I shot. It was in Prague, and for me, it was the best vibe of all eight. I don't know why. I'm wondering why. There were not just Czech people there, people of all nationalities, and but yeah, I mean, it was even though it was a seated show, so everyone just stood up and just came as close to the stage as possible for the encore. And people were like, uh, someone gave their telecaster for Susan to sign. Yeah, they just pushed it onto the stage, and it was that was cute.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fun, and it
yeah,
just maybe it's what you're describing, like the fact that for whatever reason, maybe the show in Czech in Prague drew a lot of seemed to draw more people from different places. Which,
yeah,
if you're coming in to see Tedeschi Trucks Band, you're probably more of a hardcore fan. And if you're more of a hardcore fan, you're more
right.
likely to be emotionally moved and want to stand and enjoy yourself in that way. So I guess that's part of it. Is I guess I keep coming back to the ages a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit of a younger crowd too. Is that something to be said for people who are standing? Like old people just can't or
Mhm.
won't or don't want to or whatever stand as much. So I guess I
Yeah.
get that.
Hmm.
Yeah, until you remember, you got an until you remember. I see starting
Oh yes,
set two. Very
that was
very cool.
unexpected, and yeah, very cool.
They
Uh,
play that song just the right amount of times, like once per like every 9 or 10 shows. You get
mhm.
like an until you remember. So it's like it stays fresh and it's pops and it's special and it's
Mhm.
a show stopping moment
Yeah,
when we get that song certainly.
yeah, and we got whipping post. Oh my god! In the second set for the first time in 8 concerts.
Oh, you
Mm,
hadn't got a storm and a whipping post. I think most
yeah,
whipping posts, most storms usually have a whipping post lately. I think
yeah,
for a fair amount of time these days. Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's special. She brings down the house. Like you
yeah,
get goosebumps when it gets real
yeah,
quiet and she's you know get that
hmm
reverb going on Susan's vocal.
yeah. And what was the encore? Can you pull that up a bit?
Oh yeah, let me scroll. We're missing some. Show me
So it's show. Oh yeah, I think they
with
played
all the.
two songs. I think they played
Oh,
two
okay.
songs. Yeah,
Yeah, this could be wrong. It's possible or not fully
yeah,
updated. I'll have to check
yeah,
that. Maybe I can
yeah.
check
I'm
that
I'm
somewhere.
almost pretty sure they played two because the audience was just
They had
wild
to.
in the best
Yeah.
sense of the word. Yeah, yeah.
Did the audiences
So
always go wild after? I mean, you said especially this show might have been your favorite even, but did they all
yeah,
go wild even at the sitting places like when it's the encore? Because even the people who sit, by the end, everyone
mhm.
kind of stands for the encore. So I'm guessing all the encores were pretty good, and the
Yeah.
fans got into it no matter
But
what
I mean,
city you were in.
uh, it was something wrong with people in Berlin. I mean, I'm not just coming up with the stories. I just tell you what I observed. I don't know, but yeah, all other shows, yeah, people stood up and yeah,
Maybe just because it's a big city and like versus the shows where maybe people are coming from other places more
yeah,
so to you got more locals who are maybe not hardcore fans just wanted to
mm,
go to a show to go to a show. I
yeah,
guess it's possible. I don't,
yeah, yeah,
who knows? Let me share some more pictures for the people here who are watching this stuff. And you so did we cover at least somewhat broadly all of
yeah,
the show, and you shot photographs at all of them
yeah. I
and
just
for the band because they've been sharing your pictures.
yeah, and I'm very
How
grateful.
awesome is that?
Yes, I mean, I was like, when I get the notification that they posted my photos, I'm like, wow, my god, yeah. I started crying, like, still.
I
Mm.
almost cried. Damn, like for real.
Oh
Photos by Alina Harmash. How cool is that?
no, I mean, I'm so grateful, and that is, yeah. I've never been happier. Never been
Yeah.
happier.
The problem is you're gonna be addicted to all this, and when the band
Yeah,
leaves, what happens? But you know what? You get there's music. You have the music is what you
yeah,
have. That's what sustains you. Really, me. When I say
yeah,
you, I mean me, all of us. But
yeah,
I'm like, oh, there's the Beacon shows are over. I'm probably not gonna see the band till I don't know, maybe second half next year. We'll see. Who knows? But
yeah,
I have the songs and blessed the tapers and people who were
yeah,
able to get some audio
yeah.
for us and video and the Ed Gendelmans and Sean
Mm.
Roaches
Yes,
and a
yes.
few
Wow.
European shows have popped up as well.
Yeah.
So I've been grateful for those here.
Mm.
Here we got a picture of
Yeah.
Ephraim.
Mm.
Well, let me make this. Oh man, we gotta get this together
Yeah,
here.
Cabby and Ephraim.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes they get this very moody light that just suits the horns.
yeah. It's this is perfect. This is what hey, I don't know what you could just spotlighted them both. The perfectly shot.
Mm. Thank you.
Such great detail on especially Kevy's
Yeah.
hair. So it's such a signature to like iconic thing at least in our world. Like just seeing Kevy's like silhouette
Mm.
I am the moon
Yeah.
videos that or
Yes. Yeah.
that came out with the music. Like it's just so iconic in our world. You just see a silhouette of Kevy's hair and his figure
Yeah.
and his saxophone, and you're like, oh, Kevy, like it's
Mm.
so recognizable in a
Yeah.
familiar way. Like these images are like such a part of our lives. I
Mm.
think in a health, I think in a healthy way still.
Well, one could debate that.
It's too much. We're too into this band. No, I think it's good. I think I mean, their music is medicine for the
Yeah.
soul, is it not?
Yeah.
I think it's healing. It has
It
healing
is.
properties,
It is.
certainly.
truly
Yeah.
healing. Oh my god, that was I think it was Bound for Glory, or it was the encore. Because also sometimes I got to shoot the very last song, and I really asked asked the management to allow me to shoot the last song, because that's when you get these kind of shots.
Yeah, we got Derek with his eyes closed,
Yeah,
pie on the neck, and Susan with her
yeah,
mouth open, playing guitar and singing. And behind them in the backdrop, you can see
yeah.
uh, Mark, Mike, and Alicia
Mm.
as well up on the platform. I like the new stage setup that they've been
Yeah.
doing. I guess they've done it since I guess probably last year, but like
Mm-hmm.
the layout.
Yeah,
Gabe
it's
must
very
be deaf.
symmetrical.
Gabe is probably very, very deaf by now with being in front of the horns. But that
Yeah,
aside,
yeah,
it looks good. The feng shui of the
yeah.
entire stage, which I'm sure is mostly designed to for
Mm-hmm.
sound and maybe comfort as well. Let's
Yeah.
see what else we got here. That one. Here's this. I didn't show this one before.
Oh,
The selfie.
oh,
You can actually see someone else took a photo of Susan
yeah.
doing actually doing the selfie.
It was my Italian friend Mauro, and thank you so much, Mauro, for doing this legendary photo.
That is the right word. I mean, like for me, for you, for any fans that love this band, there is definitely so I'm sure Susan and Derek like the photo too. I mean, their expressions and yours too. It's all very
Yeah.
natural. Like that's the thing when you get these moments, you like you don't want to make a weird face by accident
No.
and I'm sure Derek and Susan, they take millions of photographs and don't love every
Yeah.
single one the same. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they want it to look good, but this is great with you in between them.
Mhm.
And I like that Susan is doing the selfie and holding, she's got her purse and other things in her
Yeah.
left hand, and like they're on the move. Like it's a moment in time in
Yeah.
the middle of their day.
Yeah.
Even down to the details. Like this is just me overanalyzing, but there's a Volkswagen in the background, and the fact that the door of it is open, even just gives this photograph like sort of like a moment in time and urgency to it. I got to get this now kind of feeling. Whereas it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a photo op at all. And it's in a parking lot. It feels very improvised, but
Mm.
also very happy.
Yeah.
It's like a pleasant surprise in all of your days in a way. Like they don't look like they're you know dreading taking a photograph with you at all. I mean, look how happy Derek is smiling. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, Derek is
he's
smiling.
I mean, I guess he can be come across as more of a stoic type, but like
Yeah.
not. But we see so many photographs. There's plenty of Derek smiling pictures, but this is certainly
Mm.
a good one, a great one.
Yeah.
This might
Thank
be
you,
my
Mauro.
maybe I'll make it my background. I'll make it my desktop picture or use it for just
Yeah.
random social media stuff. What a
Mm.
great shot. And here's another one of just Susan and Derek on stage together. And that's
Mm.
cool because you actually don't even it's literally just them
Yeah.
and
That was
they have a
why.
glow.
Mm. That was
You
why I
added the glow
didn't.
in post?
What?
I was saying you added the glow in post production.
No, I didn't actually. I just
Unedited.
slides. I mean, I always edit, but it was a very slight edit because they had the backlight, and it was perfect. Mm.
Yeah, they I it's hard for me because I love the bands and the music so much, like, it's almost like, are these photographs so great because I love the band so much and their music? Or, like, I think it's more of a credit to you guys and the photographers and just Susan and Derek aesthetically, like, that these are
Mm.
great
Yeah.
photographs, like, if there was no sound coming out of their instruments, these would still be amazing photographs to people who've never
Yeah.
heard the band. Like if you didn't hear the band, if you didn't know this band and you saw the pictures, you would be interested, or one would. I think all these pictures would be very intriguing to someone who's never heard the band, which is amazing. Because what the hell does the visual? You can't hear the pictures, but it almost makes you want to
Mm.
and be interested too.
Yeah. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get this feeling in my work. So yeah.
I hear the slide guitar.
Yeah,
Looking at it,
of course.
if
I'm
this is
happy you can hear it.
yeah, maybe that's just me. We got one of Gabe here. Oh, where'd it go? Gabe here
Yeah.
looks like he's clapping his hands, singing with his. He might be singing here, but not apart. He might just be singing because like he's into it or something. Because he's not really near the
Um,
microphone. I'm not sure what's but even in the
yeah.
back,
I don't know actually. I can't remember.
yeah.
Mm.
But you definitely caught him totally lost in the music. Like, there's no other way to describe this shot, as
Mm.
is, Elizabeth in the backdrop, and you could
Oh
see
yeah.
Kevin. Kevin looks like with the reflection off his, glasses in this shot behind Ga over Gabe's left shoulder, it
Ah.
looks like he's like the Terminator or something, some kinda, like, futuristic Kevin.
Yeah.
Just cool stuff all around, just great details, you can see all the keys on his different instruments here, the organ and all
Mm.
that, and the cymbal from the drums, and good stuff
Mm.
all around. Oh, look at this is magical. Are people trying to buy this one from you? Have you sold the rights to this one or anything like that? 'Cause
No.
is this in the
No.
magazine yet? I mean, a lot of these could be and should be, but this looks like taken right out of, like, I don't know. This almost looks like this man is, like, some sort of, like, religious,
Yeah.
holy figure of sorts, and kinda
Well,
kind
it's
of is
holy for us. He's
right,
holy.
and if seeing Tedeschi Trucks Band is such a spiritual experience for all of us hardcore, fans
Mm.
of them and the music, like, and what would you call the leader of the band? In
Mm.
some sense, I think it's fair to describe him as a
Mm.
spiritual,
Yeah.
leader, and being spiritual and connected with nature and all that stuff is a big
Yeah.
part of what they do, and being part of history. So just like looking at this picture just makes me think of that. Like, it's like I'm picturing like Renaissance paintings, and then you would like see this. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
It does look like a painting, actually. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It looks like
Mm.
kind of like the color, something about it.
Mm. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thank you. That's very kind of you to
yeah.
mention that. Yeah, but I
Music.
think.
Yeah, go on.
Mm, yeah.
I was gonna say musical Jesus. Musical
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, totally. Uh, yeah. What I'm saying is, what's special about Derek's leadership is that it's not hierarchical in any way, because really everyone gets to shine in the band, and this is not just a beautiful word. It is actually, it's a truth, and this is so beautiful. Yeah.
I think it is hierarchical, but it's very organic, and it's
Mm,
not in an unfair. It's in a very
mm,
organized, organic, fair, generous, like very they're all very generous with each other. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, but like you're saying, everyone does get to shine, and that we're splitting hairs, but certainly, yeah, that's what they managed to just like
Mm,
let everyone just for me like some fans will say, "Oh, I wish there was more Derek. I wish there was more Alicia. I wish there was more of this. I wish there was more of that." And I agree, but at the same time, I could see where they're coming from. But I never left the show feeling like I needed to have more. I felt like I got just the right amount of just everyone and everything.
yeah.
Like, I heard what I needed to hear. I heard Susan on the guitar. I heard the guitar duels. I heard Elizabeth got her moment, and Alicia and like everyone had usually gets their time to shine, and they just continually to shine the whole night in conjunction with each other anyway. But this is a
Mm,
cool shot. We see Gabe with the horn section, you know.
yeah.
This is why I'm saying the man is going to be deaf.
Yeah.
Although some shows I think it's slightly, I mean, depending on the stage configuration, it's slightly maybe less invasive, and they might be a little
Mm,
further away and closer and whatever. But
yeah.
another
Actually, I
cool
think he
shot.
might have a headphone in, or this thing that's in
Right.
his left, in what's the left ear. Yeah.
Yeah, like an earbud or something.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah. Yeah.
call it?
But I'm not sure.
Plugs.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And you time
Mm.
these shots specifically to get them all playing at the same time the horn section? Is that did you
Mm,
did you plan that shot to try to get that, or did they just you happen to?
no, actually, the most I mean, the best shots for me are never planned. No matter how much of the calculations I do, it's 99% of the time they're not planned. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it.
If you didn't know this was Tedeschi Trucks Band, you'd be like, this Gabe guy. This is an interesting. This is like an interesting band right here. A piano with three horns behind it. I would check this out. I would go. I would pay to see any incarnation or any configuration
Yes,
of these bands. Oh, Gabe with just the horn section. That would be an
yes,
interesting show.
yeah.
And his band, that were there were no, his band wasn't I don't think his band was Gabe Dixon band wasn't on this tour. That was Wheels of Soul, I think,
Mm,
and whatnot. But yeah, his band is excellent. So but yeah, this would be interesting. uh oh, we got more pictures here. There's more of the
yeah,
silhouette style of Kebby.
yeah.
So cool, and the reflection in the glasses, a black and white one here.
Mm,
The spidery hair, so cool.
yeah, I
It's
love
so
his
photo.
hair.
It's so photo. It's so the camera loves Kebby and his hair
Yes, yeah.
and the glasses and the
Mm,
saxophone. Like it's all like so signature to this
mm,
guy.
yeah. It's so
I've
cool.
never really talked to Kebby much at the show. Maybe because he's always like I would say he's wearing sunglasses, so I feel like it's like hard to know if you're
Yeah.
making eye contact. But I don't mind that. I think like that's what I was saying, like or thinking about before when you were saying how personable Derek and Susan and Mark and Elizabeth were. But even the band members that like I haven't like had too many interactions or conversation with, just like their energy and just the way I see them all carry themselves, super duper cool people, super duper nice people, down to earth. You know,
Mm,
I admire them all, but for the way looking at the way they all carry themselves, like
yeah.
amongst the fans and each other, at least from afar, from what I know and have seen. But this is such a great shot. You must be getting. I mean, I've kind of looked at some of the posts and stuff, but like you must be really happy about the feedback that other fans and
Oh yeah. I
people are
mean,
giving you about the pictures, and the band's obviously sharing them, which is the ultimate compliment. So what better confirmation of the photos, of the quality of the photos, than the band sharing them, that indicates
no, I
how
mean,
awesome
just
they are.
much gratitude, and both for the fans and for the band, and yeah, the fact that they might like the shots means everything and beyond to me. Oh yeah, this one is a special one.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's Derek. Derek has got his eyes closed. He's playing guitar, and you kind of have an interesting, almost like a Dutch angle or whatever you call it on there.
mm,
You wrote a caption. I remember you posted this somewhere, and you wrote like it's Layla and
yeah,
Majnun, like
yeah,
because you see almost floating figures from what is it, the fall, the graphic from the fall,
uh,
but it's the two images sort of falling
mm.
with the eye with the moons behind it. This is so cool. This almost looks like it's like underwater. This almost has like an
Oh yeah.
under, I don't know what it is. This Yeah, it
Mm,
definitely evokes a certain feeling.
mm.
I
And I
can't really
like
quite
how. Yeah.
I can't really quite put my words on it, and that's why I love art and music and
Mm,
photography, because like it expresses things that I can't with words
hmm,
and
yeah,
language. Or maybe that's just me because haven't I haven't thought of the right words to describe it. But I really do. I really like this one a lot. This is cool.
yeah. I mean, and I like
People
how.
must love these. Everyone must love
Oh,
these.
oh well, yeah. Oh,
Here's a
this
black
one.
and white one of Susan. What a great little smirk on her face.
Yes.
Uh, just like because she's got something up her sleeve,
Yeah.
whatever note is coming up next. It looks like she's playing a solo. I'm guessing just
Mm,
or
yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
possibly because Derek's kind of in his own. He's kind of giving her space to do her thing. It looks
Yeah.
like he's kind of doing his own thing. this captures the how do I describe it? This picture, it's like some of the more chaos, the chaotic aspect of Tedeschi Trucks Band
Yeah.
when they're all still playing and they're engaged with each other, but they're actually not looking at each other, but they're
Yeah.
still all sort of connected. I like that. Susan's facing sort of more right, Derek's facing left, and Kevy's facing right, and
Yeah.
and and Alicia
Yeah.
and even Mike in the background, they're facing left, and you don't even see the drums. It's just this is, and you're on this sort of interesting angle. There's a lot of chaos, but Susan fronts the chaos and doesn't look at all.
Mm.
They don't look at all lost. They don't look at all. They look
No,
very
they
in
know
in
what they're
touch.
doing.
Right. And she's
Mm.
the leader of that, at least
Yeah.
in this shot from this
And
perspective.
actually, it's not zoomed in. So this is how close I stood to her. Because that's why I thought it was in Copenhagen, and that's why I said that this venue is just perfect. So that was taken from the photo pit, and I didn't zoom in.
Yeah,
So
that's incredible. I mean, and just hear something about just like hearing that little anecdote from you. It's just like that's like the reason I like do this podcast is just like
yeah,
I wouldn't have known that, but just to know that like the person who shot this photo was standing that close and loves the band as much as I do, like that makes all
yeah,
of this like that much more special and meaningful.
yeah. And we're
Here's
so
another one.
lucky to have your podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that. And here's another one. Here's Susan. I guess with is that no glasses on, and Derek's
Oh
with his
yeah,
eyes
yeah,
shut.
yeah. That's I think that was what when they do when they exchange solos. It was
Yeah,
on what
yeah.
song
Something
was
about I don't know, but
that?
this picture has like a certain vulnerability to it. Just Derek's
Mm,
kind of his eyes are closed. He's fully engaged. Susan's kind of like watching him, and it's yeah, I don't. I guess I haven't seen a lot of pictures lately of her without glasses on, so that's kind of like
mm,
unique in itself. And Isaac is not wearing a hat, and you could
yeah.
see you can actually see the faces of Isaac and Falcon has an intense look on his face, looking over at Derek. Which I guess, yeah. I mean, this is a pretty unique shot of the band that I feel like we don't see too much of. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we do, but like for
Mm,
me, looking at how many of the faces are clear
mm.
here, what's going on is interesting.
No, but in this regard, I gotta give credit to Josh and Caitlin, who have been supporting me throughout the whole tour, and yeah,
Yes,
Josh and
Josh Brick
Caitlin,
and Caitlin more about
yeah,
yeah, also
yeah,
photographers who've shot many shows for them over the
mm,
years. They've been giving you advice
yeah,
and
and I'm
whatnot.
very grateful to have received it. And actually, Josh was one of three people who inspired me to start doing photography, because when I got into Tedeschi Trucks, and obviously I saw Josh's shots, and I was like, "Oh shit, those are great! I mean, I wanna do the same."
Yeah, no, that's I because I went back and I listened to our previous episode, and you did
Yeah,
mention that his photos and Caitlin's photographs were inspirations for you
yeah,
because you discovered Tedeschi Trucks Band before photography, and they were sort of an inspiration for you to get into photography was because you
yeah,
loved this band so much that you wanted to do something beyond just being a fan of them. I
yeah,
guess I can relate to that.
yeah.
Like, I guess I can relate to that a little bit.
Uh-huh. In what way?
Certainly. That I've started this entire other podcast
Yeah,
project
yeah,
because
yeah.
being just a fan apparently is not enough. We'll get through a couple more pictures and I'll let you share some more stories or thoughts, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But it's also what time is it in Sweden right now?
It's almost 10:30, but it's just the right time for me. But you know, we
Oh,
could
it's not
talk
that late.
about Tedeschi Trucks for ages. I mean, but we're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
No, such good stuff all around. Here's another one with Derek and his eyes closed. We're looking at a picture, got the slide on. He's in the moment, and you can see Isaac over his left shoulder. The
Mm,
knobs on the amps all shiny. The cymbals shining.
yeah. Even though
Um,
the light is challenging, it's very smart. I mean, I gotta give credit to whoever does the light because it really showcases what needs to be seen in that particular moment. So the backlight here is just, I mean, thank you for that to whoever did the light for this show.
how much of this stuff is just kind of luck? Do you have to be a little bit lucky to get a great shot? Does it take just some luck and a little bit or no?
Mm, I'd
There are no
say
mistakes. There is no luck.
no, there is luck. Obviously, there is always luck. And as I said, the best shots are accidental. Yeah, but I mean, it's also good that I have photographed them a couple of times because with each time, you know a bit more what to expect and when to stand in that very spot. Or, yeah.
Is Yeah, I was gonna ask if there's any advice you can share that, or you feel comfortable sharing that Josh and Caitlin said to you, specifically about shooting TTB. Was it like, just so you know, you got to have your camera setting on this to get Derek's hair, or at a certain like what? Did they give you
Mm,
any
yeah,
tangible tips, or was just what did they have to say?
yeah. I mean, they gave me a lot of advice, both Josh and Caitlin, and yeah, I was very nervous before the first show, and Josh just told me to get the set list because apparently I didn't think of that. So yeah, I got the set list, and then I um, I talked to Caitlin about some of the pictures of Susan. I think whether to keep the background or to remove it, because yeah, there was one shot where I removed the background um, behind Susan so that she's totally in the dark. Um, yeah, and
Gotcha.
yeah, like they told me a lot of stuff, and I'm very appreciative of their time and willingness to give me some knowledge.
No, that's so cool. I'm glad that they were helpful. And I mean, some of the stuff is just things that you could never you when you just might not have known. Or it's like, but the fact
Mm,
that you have four extra eyes and experience,
mm,
like giving you
yeah,
giving you some advice is super cool. And it's just like, yeah, you're talking to them, and then run into Kathleen and
yeah,
other fans and all these people. It's just no cool thing to see and be a part of. Did we look
yeah,
at
and
this one yet? We didn't look at this one yet. I got a picture of Gabe singing and looking
oh,
up to the heavens here.
I
Hair
love
looks
his.
good.
Yes, I love it. I love his hair here.
See, the thing about Tedeschi Trucks Band, everyone has great hair. I think
Yes.
I think everyone has hair too. Yeah, yeah, they all the fact, yeah. I mean, I think they all have hair, and
Yeah.
they all have their unique styles, and this is definitely a part of
Yeah.
that. They're very photogenic.
Yeah.
Um, they're f- they're f- they're low key fashionable. I think so.
Yeah.
They're like low
Yeah.
key stylish. Like they do, and it's very organic. They don't force. They don't say
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress. They're not going for a certain look,
Mm,
or I mean, I guess obviously they are, but they're not like nothing's forced in with
yeah.
the way they
That's
present themselves
that's the
and
point.
all. And
Yeah.
yeah, whether it's their music or whether it's just like their clothing, and they're all kind of like free to do how they're all individuals within
Hmm.
within
Yeah.
within this collective. They don't all dress the same. They don't look the same. They don't
Yeah.
all wear black. They don't all have long hair. They're very diverse band in more ways
Yeah.
than one, and that I think leads to
Yeah.
a greater you know thing,
Yeah.
when it comes to the sum of the parts, certainly. What else? What else should we cover? What else do you want to talk about? What else should we? Anything else we need to
Mhm. Let
to
me get
to,
to
to
my
cover?
list. I did a
Oh,
list of the that I wanted to mention, so I'll just
yeah. Now's the
uh
time.
yeah. Yeah, and oh god, I just look at the chat, and basically I met a Ukrainian woman who is into Tedeschi trucks as much as I am. I've been waiting for her for 4 years. I mean, I know some old guys from Ukraine that are, yeah, love a guitar, and yeah, this type. But I've never met a woman. She's also a guitarist. Yeah, and we didn't meet in Hamburg. She was also in the Hamburg show, but she I think she found me on Instagram, and yeah, we started chatting, and yeah, she's very into government mule and everyone in that uh, community. So I'm very
Oh, that's
happy.
cool. Is that who's in the chat?
Yeah, Karen.
KRNSWRY.
Yeah,
Hello, hi Karen. Hello, hi Karen. Hi from a fellow Ukrainian fan. Hamburg had a really young crowd, which was surprising. Yeah, Hamburg. You're saying was the better of the two Germany shows, at least in terms of the the venue and some of the logistical aspects
yeah,
of it. But what?
Hamburg.
Yeah, I'll let you
Yeah,
go on. What else we got in your notes there?
yeah, and I want to give hi Karen. I want to give a special thanks to the people who hosted me in those 8 cities. Or I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that if people didn't offer me a place to stay for the night, because I mean, those tours are pricey. Yeah, you know that. Uh, yeah, I mean, they're not in the chat, and they probably won't see in the podcast. But still, I want to just send my thanks to them. Hopefully, they hear they hear it. Yeah, and yeah, what else? I just cannot wait for the two last Paris shows. I think they're gonna be special, mm, in many
When are
ways.
when are those again?
On the 13th and 15th of November.
Oh, you're wearing the shirt. I didn't even see before you were wearing the I Am the
Yeah,
Moon shirt. There it
of
is.
course.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Which album? Is it Crescent
that
specifically?
is. Um,
Or is it just an I
I
Am the
think
Moon?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Well, either way, it's cool to see and it's
yeah,
good to see you. I appreciate
yeah.
the time for sure. Where can people find and follow you? I guess on your Instagrams, or it might be the best place, but I'll give you the floor to give the plugs or whatever if you want to share anything.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm just. It was such a nice chat and so interesting, and thank you for inviting me. Yeah, just so cool. I mean, to come back to these days in my memory, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm so blessed, honestly.
Yeah. No, thank you. What is it?
Thank you.
What is it on Instagram? Moon Sister Photos, the best way to find you?
Moon sister photo. Yeah,
Moon, is there dots and Moon dot sister photos? Or is it just Moon Sister?
it's moon dot sister dot photo.
There it is. There you go. There you go, everyone. You got that. Thank you again, Alina.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna let you go, and I'll do my little outro here. We can talk more afterwards, but thank you again, and let's talk more soon on another
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you.
You got
Thank
it.
you, everyone.
You got
And
it.
bye
Bye
bye.
bye. So there you go, episode 95 with Alina Harmash. That was super special. I definitely appreciate her time again and all the stories. I feel like that we could have kept going. Maybe we will. Maybe I will get her on again to talk more about the Paris shows, because I'm sure we can definitely squeeze. I don't, we don't even need to squeeze, but we can definitely get an episode out of that. But we'll think more about that. I'll think about that. She'll think about that. Maybe get her back on. But for everything about this show, of course, check out at Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram, and please subscribe on YouTube. I appreciate that. Subscribe on however you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, etc., etc. I am at Adam Choit on Instagram and Twitter. Tedeschi Trucks Band's website is TedeschiTrucksBand.com. Buy tickets, buy merch, join the fan club, do all that. Totally worth it. Lots of good stuff there. My other podcast is People We Love. That's at People We Love Podcast on Instagram, peoplewelovepodcast.com. I also have a short film out, theeditedmovie.com, that I wrote and directed. It's a dystopian psychological satire. You guys should check that out too. It's on YouTube, but it's also embedded on my website, theeditedmovie.com. But I think that's about all I got for today. I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you for the support. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to just continue to keep going and just look forward to hopefully some more music. Maybe we'll get some tapers at those Paris shows. But I'll let you all go. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you may be, and let's talk more soon. Peace.